I did another bulk submission 9/8 pre-screen. The box is not that big. Was it me? Did they damage the books, or did I get a harsh grader? I don't know. Let's see what books came back in a 9/8. This is half of the bulk submission. Should be 25 books in here, but how many of them are graded? Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hello, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out the description of this video for links to my email, eBay store, whatnot, and Instagram. So I did another 9.8 pre-screen. I dropped 50 books off at Terrificon. So that was on August 9th. Today is September 16th. So 5 weeks. Essentially, I get these books back. Now, with 50 book bulk submission, you're going to get back 2 different packages. One should be here tomorrow. I have this one today. I don't know which half of the submission this is. So we're going to break into it. Again, it doesn't seem like it's too full. And what the amount that they charged my credit card was much less than it optimally would be. If like every book got graded, it was a lot less than that. So I'm thinking it's less than half of the books got the 9/8, but hopefully we had some good 9/8s. Let's remain positive. We'll go through the the cost of grading and the fair market value of the books and what the fair market value of the books in total would be raw, and see how we did. Oh, there we go. So, okay. Yeah, right up top we get the bubble mailer with the bubble wrap with the comic mailer in it. So we'll get that out of the way. That's a big chunky thing of raw books inside. And then there's one thing of bubbles. Okay. So I think which way is the top? What do we think? Is it this way? Yeah. Okay. There ain't a lot of them. Let's start at the beginning. We're just going to go through them. And then we'll put the fair market value down here. We'll go over the total of everything when we get done. Again, I'm not sure. So almost all of these books came from a collection I got last June, where the books were pretty much unread from 1980 forward. I did get some 9/8s out of this early. I took some of the bigger books, the ASM 300, the Hulk 340, the New Mutants 98, things of that nature. So we're going to just take a look at each of these books as they came back. Let's just, okay. So, I think this is the first box. So, let's see. This is Amazing Spider-Man 275. I had, that came back. It is Hobgoblin and Rose and Kingpin appearance. This is not a key, but still in high grade. Does have a lot more value than a book, a raw book. It's like one of those things that the 9/8 is right around $100. So kind of like, I was like, let's throw it in. Try to find some ASM fans who want their 9/8s. These are pre-McFarlane books, because I put all the McFarlane books in a different submission. Up next is, boom, Amazing Spider-Man 291. So oh my God. We skipped like, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6. Skipped like 9 books. Of those 9, like, well, my only notes were clean. Amazing Spider-Man 291. Again, Dave Michelini story, John Romita Jr. art, and Al Milgrom cover. Okay. So there's that. That's 2. Next book is Amazing Spider-Man 286. Okay, we're going backwards a little bit. This one, actually, I had a note that there was a tiny little tick on it. Yeah, there's something like right there that I had a hard time getting out. This is Gang War Part 3. Rose revealed as Richard Fisk. 9/8 white pages. Jim Owsley story, Kupperberg Fern, Art Nichols art. Bob Hall and Al Milgrom cover. Okay. So a lot of Amazing Spider-Man in this half of the submission. I think it's mostly ASM. Amazing Spider-Man 282. Okay, we are going backwards. Some of these clean ones. This is the 25th anniversary cover. The cover is by Rick Leonardi and Bob Layton, and there's an X Factor appearance. But this, what makes this kind of a key, and it's not one of the bigger 25th anniversaries, because I know there are folks that like to try to collect the whole thing in 9.8, but this is probably one of the more readily available. It would have been, along with X-Men, one of the bigger sellers. X-Men, at least that month, was a key. There's, you know, it's like a Wolverine Sabretooth battle. Up next is what's next? Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 21. This is the newsstand edition. I'm going to say it's going to be the nicer one. Slight bindery. Now the binderies look maybe up at the top. I don't know. So again, there was a difference between the newsstand and the direct on this one. The direct had the supporting characters like J. Jonah Jameson, Aunt May, Robbie Robertson, etc. And this has the heroes and the villains. So the newsstand a little bit harder to get in a 9.8. Yeah, this is probably one of the probably the priciest books so far. Next book is the same one. So we had two of these. Both the newsstand. I also had a direct in here, which should have been a clean book as well. How many do we have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we have, what, like 10, I think, in here? 10 or 11, maybe? I think it's 10. Not great, not great. Again, I don't think there were any huge keys in this half of the submission. And here's the direct. So all of those came back 9/8. It's funny, the same collection, I took a direct and sent it off to PSA, and I got a 9.6 with PSA. So again, I had all these as clean, not at all surprised that these came back 9/8. Now we're finished with the annuals. Oh, this is a nice one. 333. Amazing Spider-Man 333. Nice cover. It's not an expensive book. It's just a Venom appearance with an Eric Larson cover. So, try to reduce the glare. It's still daytime when I'm doing this. So, that's cool. 333. Again, about a $100 book. I was clean and pressing a lot of books at this time. Next book is 294. This is a nice one. This is the Kraven's Last Hunt. The Death of Kraven. Mike Zeck and Bob McLeod cover and art. J. DeMatteis story. The 5th part of the Kraven's Last Hunt storyline. That's got a nice little price tag on it. It's FMV. And then one more. Just one more. I think. I'll double check. And the last book, I don't know if you saw it. It's okay, 293. So that's a nice little companion piece. This is Kraven's Last Hunt, part 2. Also a Mike Zeck and Bob McLeod cover. So those are good ones to get. The web one, Web of Spider-Man, is like the best one. That's somewhere in knocking around. Hopefully getting degraded. Now, okay, so that's it for the submission. That's really not great. Just double. Yeah, there's nothing else. Unless, nope, that's just that. So now let's take a look at the raw books, because of these were the ones that had issues that I thought were not strong 9.8 contenders. I put in the second half of the submission. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 out of 25, 40%. No bueno. Of those others, my notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them I had as clean. I didn't have any issues with them. I pressed and cleaned all of these. And I've had, success with my cleaning and pressing in the past. My concern is, what are these ungraded books going to look like? I even had one as this was like very clean. Like I thought it was like a knockout 9.8, and it's a tough one because it's got a predominantly black cover and there was nothing on it when I sent it off, right? Now, I didn't really take pictures of the stuff, and again, these aren't really the highest of value books. They're, $100 to $200 books mostly. So, let's take a look at what we got here in this raw books. All right. Now, I just want to take a closer look at a couple of these. Right? So, oh man, this is ridiculous. 347, 346, 44, 28, 25, 97. This one I had, I don't know, it's 295 I had is the one that was very clean. I had this as very clean. So I'm going to take another look at it. Maybe the minusculest of ticks here. Yeah, it kind of magnifies a little bit on camera. Let's put something right there. I think I'll just resubmit this. I don't even know if I have to press this. That's really disappointing. Probably the higher value ones, potentially, I will resubmit. That's a high value one because it's the black cover so hard to get. 287, 85. And the frustrating part of this is when you work on it yourself, and I kind of do little detail. It's like, yeah, I got this into great shape. I think it's got a good shot at 9.8. And then Daredevil 254. Like this one. This one I had as clean. There's, yeah. Wow, the back cover. That, I didn't send it in like that. I did not send it in like that. And that's not, I don't think I can do anything with that. I didn't, like I would have, let's see, 254. Where are my notes on Daredevil 254? Clean. I would have made note of, like, the staple stress. Yeah, there's, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to take a closer look at these books, again, as I constantly do with these 9.8s. Frustrating. Because, these books, these are clean books. Now, yeah, I'll take another look at these. They I thought most of them should have gotten a 9.8 when they left my hands. So now I'll take a look at the FMV of these books, and that'll just take mere moments for you. Now, I should say, for FMV, my methodology is I look at the median grade over the last at least 5 sales. If there's more than 5 sales in the last month or so, I take a look at the last month. So for books that trade frequently, you get a little more information, because I don't like to, I just go for the median, which is the middle number, and that the outliers high and low aren't really counted. So what are the books mostly selling for? Let's take a look at that. And I do GP analysis. Okay, so let's break it down and see if it's worth it. Now, this was not a good result. As I said, I had 11 more books that I had as clean that did not get the 9.8. And I did see in one of the books that I had an issue that I didn't think I thought it might not get the 9.8. It did. And you could see it in the case. It was non-color breaking. A lot of these covers have black back covers. But there are books that I don't know if it was in the packaging, how it was received at CGC. They're not in as nice a condition as when I pulled them out of the press. And they might have to take a closer look at books before I send them out, maybe even take pictures. My concern is that the 50 book bulk submission has less experienced folks working on it. And I think, and I've seen a couple of other YouTubers with similar results, that they did do damage to the books. Now, is the damage irreversible? Can we still get a 9.8 out of some of these other dozen books, maybe? That remains to be seen. These were all first-time submissions from this one collection. And this collection's been producing 9/8, right? I got, last time, I got the 298, the 299, I have a 316. They all got 9/8 from this same collection. So that's the kind of condition the books were in. Is it worth it? So, the value of the books, raw, is approximately $400 for these 25 books. A lot of $10 books in here. But they're Amazing Spider-Man, so they're highly collectible. It cost me $325 to get them graded. That takes you to $725. The total value of the books that got graded was $1,364. You take into account the carryover, the raw value of the books that got rejected, and it's just about it. It's $1,599. It's $1,600. So $725 becomes $1,600. Is that worth it? That's more than a double up in terms of value. In addition, you still have the possibility that some of these books could be resubmitted for a 9/8. And actually, in my last submission, or 2 submissions ago, I no longer have any books at CGC right now. Really by circumstance, not by choice. So let's look. 5 weeks to get back. That was good. But, I mean, I expected to have about 20 out of 25. And really, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, about 20 out of 25. And maybe a little bit more. And I got 10. So, very frustrating. I don't think it's my eye or my pressing. I really don't. Listen, and what I do is I take the books that I think have less of a chance of getting a 9/8, and I put them towards the bottom of the 50 book submission. Those are coming in tomorrow. And based on what was charged to my credit card, it's going to be worse than this. But still, $725 becomes $1,600. That includes the grading fees. And the bulk submission, you have the advantage of paying $5 instead of $9, and over the course of this submission, that's a $60 savings. So, is it worth it? I think so. A lot of these books aren't as desired and aren't really worth nearly as much in the 9.6 or 9.4. So, and then, again, I have the opportunity to reinspect and possibly resubmit. Again, 2 submissions ago, I got books back that had been previous rejects that came back as 9.8s. I think sometimes they just flip a coin. It's like, picking the flower, the petals off the daisy, going, she loves me not. 9/8, not 9/8. So, listen, I know folks are going to have their opinions. That's fine. That's understandable. About whether to submit to CGC or not, but I don't collect Amazing Spider-Man. I kind of use that as my cash cow. So, I mean, basically you're talking about a $800-900 increase in value, all in at the end of the day. Now, I did save money by dropping these off at Terrificon and not shipping them in. That would have been probably another $60 in shipping costs when you put the bundle together. So anyway, that's going to do it for this little video. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you're interested, you can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying, until next time, enjoy your comics.